Chapter 4, Section 4, DNF or did not finish on the bike 6 years ago. Before I tell the story of how I finished Ironman Louisville this year, I want to tell you about my failure to finish the race in the preceding years. For example, 6 years ago I did not finish the race and had to stop and turn in my chip while I was on the bike course. As I recall, there were no dark clouds of foreshadowing doom before the race day. For 2 weeks prior to the Ironman, I had been tapering. I had biked over 100 miles on 3 separate long training sessions, and I had done these workouts without stopping, so I felt like I was prepared for the race. However, during this particular race day, the temperatures had reached 100 degrees, and considering that it is always hotter on the road than anywhere else, you can easily add a few degrees to that temperature. I'm not making excuses, but the heat affects my body, and I was not alone in my suffering. There was a 20% dropout on that day of the race, and many triathletes didn't even show up because they knew how difficult it was going to be to race in the heat. On race day that year, I biked for 9 hours. Straight in almost 100-degree temperatures, and that alone is quite an accomplishment. I've always had stomach issues on the bike, so I filled up my bento box with cookies and I ate some of them while riding to fill up my stomach. Eating while on the bike has helped me to avoid becoming weak in the past, but for some reason the cookies didn't do anything for me on that day. There are several aid stations on the course, and I got off the bike at every one of them to stretch my legs and to fill my water bottles. In short, I did everything that I could think of during the race to make sure I completed